everybody, happy March! It's my birthday month, so I'm a little excited about March. I wanted to come in here and just talk to you guys real quick because whether you are just, working on your own personal strong and a member of the tribe, or perhaps you are trying to get your side hustle on and create some income out of this, regardless of where you are at on the spectrum, I know that when I have a high level of belief in something and I want to share it with someone, I get nervous, like crazy nervous. And I remember the first, in fact, actually, I don't have to remember because it still happens. Like when I talk to people about the coaching opportunity, I still get nervous. Or when people ask me like what I do for a living, and the answer is I'm a Beachbody coach, like I get nervous about that. Why? Because I feel like if I mess this up, I will mess up the opportunity that person has to change their life. Like this has had such a great impact on my life, on Andrew's life, on our family, that it's like, I don't want to mess it up, because it's not really about like whether they say yes to me or not. It's about just them saying yes to themselves. Like, that sometimes that can feel like a lot of pressure. Well, the same holds true when I invite people to join my challenge group. Now, it's taken me a long time. At the beginning, I would try to because I'm a type A personality, a red person. If that's like you, then you get me. But I'm like I tend to default into transactional communication. In other words, it's a total weakness of mine. Where I just want to get to the down and dirty stuff so that we can have a decision and move on. And that's not really the best way to communicate to people who are trusting you with their most intimate life decision, right? Their health. So what I've had to do, and I still, last night, I'll give you an example, but what I've had to do is literally I will have to calm myself down. It's why I love the fact that we invite over typically Facebook Messenger or email, because if I were on a phone, I would completely blow it. I know it. I would just talk too much. You guys know I ramble. And so the fact that I'm on Messenger helps protect me from myself, but I literally have to stop at step 2. So step 1's not such a big deal for me because I know the blessing is in the invitation. I can send those out all day long. When they respond, then it's okay, don't get so focused on the transaction that you forget about the person. I have to remind myself about that. And so step 2 for me takes a long time, sometimes weeks. But step 2 is where you get the privilege of getting to learn about their story and about their struggles and their goals. And so I will ask individual questions. I don't do a machine gun. I used to do that. I used to get to step 2, and because I wanted to get to the yes or the no, I would ask people, hey, what does your nutrition look like? What's your favorite workout? And tell me, about what you've been doing lately. And I would have, 4 or 5 questions for them to answer. And I'm sure the person was like, whoa, lady, that's a lot, Now I just remind myself one question, just ask one question. So, my default first question is, can you tell me a little bit about your goals? If you had a magic wand, don't we all wish we had a magic wand? If you had a magic wand, what would you like to achieve in the next 30, 60, 90 days? And I wait for them to respond. And usually they'll share some really deep parts of their journey or what they've tried in the past. And it feels so honoring for them to let me into that part of their life. So that's not enough though. I want to dig a little deeper. So I'll, once they tell me about what their goals are, I will say, thank you so much for sharing that with me. I mean, shouldn't we say thank you? Thank you so much for sharing that with me. That was an intimate part of your life, right? So thank you for sharing that with me. Can you tell me a little bit about your nutrition? What does an average day look like for you? I'll get answers back of I skip meals, or, I typically run to X restaurant to, pick up lunch or whatever. I struggle with this, or I'm good at that. So since we're focusing on the nutritional piece, I will follow that up always with, thank you for sharing that with me. Because again, they're telling you about their eating habits, and sometimes that feels vulnerable, right? And I'll relate to whatever their story, whatever is in their story that I also struggle with. I will relate to that too. Girl, I skip breakfast all the time. And that's why I love what we do, because now I eat breakfast and I feel better for it. So I'll relate to whatever part of, like, you know, their exercise story or their nutrition story. I relate back to them, like, I understand that. I felt that too. Thank you for sharing that with me. Like, you are in good company. I am not sorry about that. And so then I will ask a follow-up question, right? Because we're talking about nutrition. So I will say, you know, do you struggle with cravings or brain fog or sluggishness or irritability? Why do I ask those questions? Well, because those questions will lead me right into why Shakeology is such a life solution for people, why it's such a game changer, and what it's done for me. So I can relate back to them on, hey, you know, what I've learned is that cravings and sluggishness and brain fog, those are all bigger, like, signals our body sends us to tell us, like, hey, I have a nutrient deficiency going on here. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there's like a direct line from your stomach to your brain. So like when you say, I'm thinking with my stomach right now, like, that's totally true. If like all of the gremlins in your stomach are not getting the nutrients that it needs, it like overrides everything. That's why we get hangry, right? So what I relate back to them, what I've learned is that most of us are walking around with a nutrient deficiency because we eat processed food, we eat fast food, we skip meals. And so that manifests in our body, and our body starts screaming at us in the form of cravings, sluggishness, brain fog, and irritability. So you're not alone. Like, that's a bigger signal of another underlying issue that's happening under you. And so then I walk into, you know, what kind of workouts have you enjoyed in the past? Or maybe you hate some workouts, or maybe you hate working out, period. Like, tell me what you've enjoyed, or maybe what you've hated. So this process can take days, sometimes a week or two, depending on how prompt people are and how, like, many times I have to follow up with them. But it's a longer conversation. Last night, I had a new prospective client reach out to me from one of my posts, and you know, we live in the same community, and our conversation was going so hyper fast. It was like we were going from step 1, and she was just burning through all the questions I would ask in step 2 that I got panicked because I was like, oh my God, it's going too fast. Like, I'm gonna mess this up, you know? But she was tracking right along, and it got to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, like, I gotta make a recommendation now. But I feel like we've kind of, like, this is a half-hour conversation, and that normally takes like a day or two to just get back and forth and, you know, chit-chat about goals and what's happened in life and, you know, how you relate and stuff. And so I got really nervous last night because I was like, man, I think I could really help this person, but I feel like the conversation is going too fast. And so I thought I would share that because I think sometimes we get so focused on, by the way, she did say yes. So we'll see if she finishes the purchase today. But like, she did actually say yes, so I was very thankful for that. But I was nervous because normally that conversation takes a lot longer. So I wanted to get on here and share that with you, that step 2, I feel, in our invite process is like the most critical one, and it's the one that protects you from yourself, because I don't know about you, but I'm so excited about the life change that can happen through not only our challenge groups, but through the business opportunity, that I can like rush through things, right? Because I just want to get them started. Like, I just want to know, are you in or you out? Let's go. And so I have to like calm myself down and like really ask one little question at a time, relate back to them, back in their answer, and then ask another question. And it's not until we've developed this relationship where I honestly, truly see their heart and know their goals and feel confident that this is a good next step for them, that I can then make a recommendation. And here's the trick. I know All Access has been a game changer for all of us, but here's what I have found. And I would tell you, like 80% of the people I'm talking to are doing All Access Pass. So you don't have to be afraid of the $199 price point. Here's what I have done personally. After all those goals, after, relating back to them several different ways in step 2, I will tell them, okay, there are several ways there are a couple ways, I don't say several, there are a couple ways that we can get you started. But based on what you've shared with me and based on what we have available, I would recommend the best value in our All Access Challenge Pack. And then I tell them exactly what that includes and why I think it would be good for them. But I say, I've attached a price comparison guide for you that outlines the different options available. Why don't you take a look at that and let me know which option works best for you? So now it's not a yes/no question that I'm asking them. I'm asking them, what works better for you? Option A or option B? So of course I still hear the occasional no when someone's not ready to take the next step in their journey. That's fine. But more often than not, when they look at the price comparison guide and they see the extra value in the All Access Pass, it's like a no-brainer because there's so much more that they get for only like $30 more. So I don't know if that helps anyone to know. One, I get nervous too, and I've literally had to like calm myself down and walk away from the computer sometimes so that I don't overwhelm people with my excitement. Yes, it does, Jennifer, it totally rocks. So know that is my personality. I tend to overwhelm people with information. My apologies to our entire team. Secondly, I present choices. So instead of telling people that it's like this option or nothing, with that cost comparison guide, I can say, you have options. This is the best value. Which works best for you? And that puts them in the driver's seat. And I always feel like that's honoring to the person you're talking to so that they don't feel like you're trying to force them into a specific slot. So some people will come to you with a specific program that they want to do. So that always, is awesome. Some people are looking to you for guidance. So that All Access Pass, is awesome because it gives them everything. So I hope that helps you guys, because I know that even those of you who might not be, actively looking to help people, you're going to come across people that ask you what the heck you're doing. It's inevitable because you're losing weight, you're looking great, and people are going to be like, girl, you got it going on. Like, what are you doing? And sometimes you can get butterflies because you're like, oh gosh, I'm technically a coach, but I don't know what to say. Don't worry about it. You can't mess it up, first of all. Just ask them, I'm connected to, or tell them that you're connected to a positive community that has just resourced you like crazy and loved on you like mad, and that you'd love to get them the details. And then ask them, are you working on some goals yourself? Like, tell me about your story. Tell me about you. Like, this has changed everything for me. Tell me about you. And I guarantee that's going to open up a conversation that will hopefully lead to a next step. Maybe not now, but in the future. They all watch, and they all, some of it's just an emotional journey that they have to be on to say yes to themselves. Does that help anybody? Or am I just talking to myself? But I just wanted to share that with you. I will make sure to go back to this post and link to our 5-step invitation process for those of you who might not have it at your fingertips. Save a copy to your hard drive or to your Google Drive and customize it for your voice. I always tell my coaches, like, if you are talking to several people and you're just getting no after no after no after no, pause. Talk to your upline sponsor coach, send them a sample conversation, let them give you some feedback, because it just might be that step 2 isn't happening long enough. Like, it's not going long enough. You're not asking enough individual questions, or you might be asking, like I did, a shotgun approach where it's like, let me give you 9 questions to answer. It's been a work in progress, and so take steps to get better and learn. And I hope that provides you with some encouragement that I still struggle, I still have to walk away, I still get nervous, not because I want to make the sale, but because I know that it's a matter of changing a life, and I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to help them. All right, you guys, love you. Make it a great March, and I'm opening up my calendar, so if anybody needs some one-on-one calls, feel free to book a time. I would love the opportunity to encourage and help you. All right, take care. Bye.